What's up out there? It is time for another Ancient Relic video. I think I'm going to probably do these weekly. The progress is so very slow with the expansion itself in general. Now, it may pick up and things may necessitate having multiple videos a week again, but Wednesday came. I try to put a video out on Wednesday to catch up, but nothing really happened. There was just not that much there. I wasn't ready to do anything, and I kind of got bogged down with smithing, basically. I only got smithing up to level 7, but to quickly recap where I'm at, we've got attack, strength, defense, and hit points all at level 10. I've done a lot of combat for the last few days. I got up to the point where I could run the Woe Slayer tasks with melee. I just let it run. It does its thing in the background. We've got prayer up to level 2. I've been running short on prayer points, so whenever I get enough of them to start running a prayer again, I've been doing that. So I've got a couple of levels into that, but not much. And then because I got up to the point where I could go, like I basically got attack and defense leveled up to 10, and then started working on strength. And then I started noticing, hey, I can start doing Slayer tasks now. So I tested a few out. And the method that I use is I go, look, I've got there's a mod that shows you what, I think this is a mod anyway, that shows you what Slayer task is in this area. So these are woe tasks. Dark Descent is woe tasks. And if you come over here to Abyssal Slayer area, that includes the Crimson Forest and the Tangled Grove. However, the Tangled Grove is not going to be included in that because I have not purchased a Tangled Grove entry. So the only Slayer tasks that I can actually do are going to come from the Abyssal Farmlands, the Dark Descent, and the Crimson Forest. So what I do is I just go in there and I'll test fight something. I'll look for the strongest monster, fight it. I think we're at the opposite combat triangle, so I believe we should be taking less damage to, or we're dealing less damage to ranged. Where we would normally dominate ranged as melee, we're taking less damage from it. We're going to get more damage from them, I think, because it's the reversed combat triangle. So I thought that normally showed red when it was on the opposite, not green. But at any rate, that's how I kind of determine this. So I've been letting this run for the last day or so, building up Slayer coins, building up the Slayer skill level, because we're going to be locked out of some areas here pretty soon. Like I need Abyssal level 15 to unlock that, Abyssal Slayer level, I should say. And we're going to have to clear the Depths of Woe, which I'm going to try to clear that today, I think. And let's see, we need to clear the Depths of Woe to unlock this and this. So there's going to be some areas that we can't unlock anyway. So we've got all the combat skills leveled up to this point. I have not been running Corruption, which one thing I noticed, you can actually come down here into settings and automatically corrupt monsters on spawn. It costs soul points equal to the monster's corruption level. But I believe when you do this, what it basically does is it sets the monster as corrupt when it spawns, which means you start working on corruption skill. I don't think the corruption skill actually kicks in until you get them corrupted. So if you toggle them to just start off corrupted, it's going to cost prayer points to do that, but it's also going to level your corruption skill up a little bit faster. Otherwise, see, like I've made almost no progress to this at all. And that's because you have to get them corrupted. I think the way it works is you have to get them corrupted in order to get XP from it. So is this on death? It's 3408, probably when you kill them. Yeah. So basically I wasn't getting any corruption, or very, very little, because they weren't corrupted. So if you toggle that on, it levels your corruption up. I don't understand why it doesn't do that by default. Maybe because you don't want to spend the prayer points, because it does cost a prayer cost to level that. So that's why my corruption hasn't been leveling up. I figured that out just as we were talking here for this account. I actually figured that out on my standard account first a while back, but I didn't think about it here. And now that I'm looking at it and we're talking about it, I don't see any corruption progress, and that's because these guys die before they build up corruption, so they don't even start with it. So turn that on, we'll level corruption up. I've also got wood cutting, fishing, fire making, all to level 10. We've got level 10 in mining, 7 in smithing. I can't get, man, this smithing is brutal. the cost of the Abyssium ore and the Abyssal stone, like you got to go to harvesting for a while and then go to mining. I spent a decent chunk of this week just doing that, bouncing back and forth between these two. Then I would go craft bars up, and then I would go craft up this Abyssium gear. But this gear takes a lot of there's a lot of requirements in here. By the time I get my bars and stuff built, this is all I could get, and then I'm out of bars and materials again. So that's been kind of a brutal slog. I would love to have level 10 because that's going to give me everything but the chest plate. I believe the chest plate is the last thing. Yeah, so I can't get the chest plate until we go through this dungeon. And the chest plate's the best way to level this thing once you get that unlocked. So I don't have that. Let's see, what else do we have? I may have had this in the last video, but we've got agility and astrology up to level 10. For agility, I could certainly pick some different skills here. Is there anything that's going to help? I probably want to do Global Abyssal XP. You know what? That's the active one. I don't want to change that right now. I could change I don't have Abyssal level 5, and we could do this one for thieving, which I might go into thieving next. I found some cool stuff that helps in harvesting in my standard account. I still can't get into this because I don't have summoning leveled up. I don't have these night germs, and I need to work on all this stuff so that I can get this next tier. But I can't level it up any further anyway, so this tier really didn't do much for me. So I have not focused on ranged or magic yet. Let's get out of this combat. And the thing that I want to do is go into this dungeon. So that gets us recapped on here. This is a very different experience than standard. A very different experience. Because you don't get any of the doubling. You basically don't get any doubling or any reservation or preservation of resources. So this sucks. You just lose a lot. In regular mode, I don't have to worry about any of this. I can stack all these, and this stuff levels. This is a big debuff on Relic mode. It is a massive debuff. But it does present the opportunity of, and here's where I kind of get into some time versus, I don't know, what's worth putting the time into. For instance, I could go into astrology and I could just grind out the mastery on all of these three and level these up and max them out. Have plenty of the stardust sitting here, have these fully maxed out and get all the bonuses from them. But that's going to take a week to do. You know what I mean? Or a few days at least. It's going to take several days of just nothing but that. But if I do that, that's going to advance the mastery pool for this, which is going to increase the stardust you get. It's going to reduce the modifier costs and probably bring up this starfall thing. In addition to that, you can also get these masteries to unlock all the other stars for these three. Like, that would be huge. Getting the benefits, I mean, not massive, but like if I maxed this out and could double this entire thing early on, is it worth spending that time on? Probably. But that comes back to where I said at the beginning that there's not going to be much progress here, because if I choose to do that, it's going to be a week, to do all these and get enough stardust and everything put into that to make it happen. So I don't know. I'm kind of debating on what I want to do with some of this. The mastery pool bonuses you get for some of these skills are huge. And especially if you double this stuff, that's going to be enormous. Okay, time-wise, let's look at skill trees really quickly. I've tried to do, I don't want to necessarily dig into these too far. We've got melee accuracy, more melee accuracy. So I've got like 25% melee accuracy, chance to do laceration. We've got more that I can't get because I can't level up any further. So we're kind of stuck there. For strength, I've got melee max hit. So that'll help there. 20% melee max hit. And then we've got stun, freeze, or crystallize. So I presume stun, freeze, and crystallize actually it counts in Abyssal. I tried, I need to try some stuff here, but I guess those status effects still apply. For defense, we've got I just took all the evasion stuff. The global evasion will probably be the next one I go to. Let's see here. Hit point wise, we've got combat abyssal XP. I made sure to go down that side so I could get more combat abyssal XP. Combat to me means all combat. So all skills are going to get 4% boost from this. And we're going to give the enemy minus 2% max hit points. minus 20% from a blaze, which I don't think I've seen yet. And then minus or plus maximum hit points when using abyssal damage. So again, we're going to need to be able to level up to put any more points into that. Prayer, I just took the one that was available. Can't use it anyway. Slayer, I've got plus 2% global abyssal slayer coins and plus 2% damage to slayer abyssal monsters. Let's see, I have not leveled up corruption yet or anything. For the rest of these, I'm not going to go through the rest of the skills at the moment. I did get a bunch of ancient relics. And by the way, for the record, if I click on a skill and let's say I click on this mastery thing, if I'm in the expansion, I think the default should be to select the expansion by default. I shouldn't have to select that. I think that's kind of lame. That would be the one big quality of life thing, is that whenever I'm selecting something, if I'm in the Abyss expansion, it should default to that for everything. It defaults to the Melvor realm. I don't think there's a setting in there to change that. Relics. Let's see here. We've got attack abyssal, because like I have to select this and then abyssal to change. So we've got laceration lifesteal. We've got melee crit hit when using abyssal damage. For strength, I got to switch over. Chance to stun when using abyssal damage. 10% damage dealt to bosses when using abyssal damage. So that's cool. Actually, that's going to help out on that boss a bit. So click defense, click abyssal, and then you've got 25% reflect damage, which is massive for abyssal stuff, and then 10% chance to convert a successful hit from the target to a miss when using abyssal damage, which is cool. And then we've got on the hit point ones, we've got plus 5% max hit points when using abyssal damage, so a little bit more hit points coming in there. Prayer, I have found ×2 souls drop from enemies and -2 soul point cost for prayers. Soul points cannot go below 1. And then on the Slayer side of things, I don't have anything yet. So let us try and fight this Depths of Woe. Now, I believe I should be able to do everything in here. And you know what? I need to set that, and we need to swap out to... Let's see, I was tinkering around with my equipment. We'll swap that helmet out, and I will set that in there for the moment. So let's talk about this dungeon. What do we got? 29. These dungeons are going to probably be the opposite of the way I do things in the regular game. And normally I would like skip all the, and I probably still skip all the trash mobs. We're going to talk through them here just because I should be able to breeze through all these. But the final boss, from what I've seen, takes forever to kill. Like it's got like 1 million hit points or some ridiculous thing, and you do very little damage to it. So I may have to pause the boss fight and actually come back to it because it's going to take a long time. That's how I beat it on my standard account. And I was, I think, a little bit higher level on my attack, strength, and defense and stuff like that. So I don't know what this is going to be like, but I may just start the fight, make sure that I'm actually doing damage and letting it go down, and then bringing back into it once the fight's done. Because the fight is ridiculously long otherwise. I think I actually paused it and came back like 20 minutes later to finally beat it. It took forever to get it done. Now, we do get a lot of bonuses from the ancient relics. I think a lot of the Melvor relic stuff counts, so we get faster intervals and stuff like that. Like, a lot of that still counts, so we can bust through this a little quicker, but it's still going to take a significant amount of time. Let's see, is there anything we could change this to? I don't want that Slayer negation, which I do. Slayer negation might actually affect this. Not the dungeon. I'm going to take that. I'm not saying it's going to affect the dungeon, but what I'm saying is it might affect the Slayer area stuff. Like if flat Slayer negation, do they use any other term? I need to look at this. What's this say? Flat Slayer area, flat abyssal Slayer. So they do make a distinction between Slayer and abyssal. So maybe it's not going to help. I'm trying to figure out if that cartography stuff will matter to Slayer or not. I'm just kind of killing time while we're cruising through here. For the gear that I am running, I've got this Obsidian Void Heart Ring. This gives you worse auto eat efficiency, but it gives you a little bit more abyssal resistance and lifesteal that stacks. I did manage to get the Abyssal Helmet. We've got still running the Ancient Infernal Cape, the Fury of the Elemental Zodiacs. I've got an Abyssium Sword, which I actually use this for all my attack, strength, and defense. I know it's like worse for strength, but this is like the weapon that I had to use it with, so I just made do. I'm running the Abyssal Slayer plate body because I don't have anything else as a chest piece for this, so that's what I'm running. The Burning Gem to apply burn on here, which actually kicks off and goes through. We're getting a little poison damage also. Magic Burn Shield, because this also has a chance to inflict burn on there. Terran God Plate Legs. The only reason I have this is it gives you a little bit of strength bonus, so it does a little bit more damage. And then same thing with the Ragnar Gloves. Damage reduction doesn't matter on this because it's not abyssal damage reduction. So I'm running this just for the melee bonuses off of it. Abyssium Boots I was able to create. And then somewhere along the line, I got this Abyssium Moonstone, or Obsidian Moonstone Ring, which gives you melee, magic, and ranged evasion. It's got a little bit of abyssal resistance. It's more of a magic ring, but it's got abyssal resistance and a little bit of evasion, so it's going to help out. We're also running the Superior Dragon enhancement. This has a chance to apply burn. The plus 2% damage reduction, which doesn't really apply for the God's Augmented one. It doesn't really apply to this. I probably should do something different, but... And then the Undead one, this gives you melee max hit and accuracy per turn. So, actually, we could do something different in the triangle spot. Where do I have those things? And you know what? I did not lock that, so we need to lock that. For the triangle spot, Global Mastery is not going to apply. Magic max hit, no. I guess I don't have anything else that's going to apply. And this is already on. So yeah, I guess that's the only thing I have on there. And we're finally getting close to the monster. As long as I don't take more damage from the final boss on here, we can just let this thing run. The problem you'll run into is the thing just heals faster than you can kill it. That was the big problem I had in standard. And basically, it couldn't kill me. It couldn't do enough damage. So what I did is I just cycled some gear in and tried to get that to out DPS, and that's why I just parked it and let it go. The thing here is we can do, it's not going to kill me. Oh, we're doing some decent damage to it. We may actually get through this then. If this does pretty good damage, we've got all the burn and the accuracy's pretty low. Chance to hit's very low. Can Diamond Lux help? Do I have Diamond Luck? I have bad Diamond Lucks. Do I not have good ones? Yeah, there's good ones. So that should make the attack roll twice, although this is going far faster. This thing's got like 1,000,000 hit points. So being able to knock this down and having the burn, and we've got burn, frost burn, poison, decay on it. So these are helping out a lot. I definitely did not go through this very well on my standard account. And honestly, I might have just been running all crappy melee gear regular Melvor gear. I might not have been running this gear. I don't think. It's been a while since I ran it, and I've only ran it the one time. Actually, I could just let this thing roll in the background. I don't have to worry about damage reduction. I'm not losing anything by running this. So maybe I'll just let this go. I don't have the active prayer is not giving me damage reduction. This is just giving me accuracy and max hit. So we should be able to get through this. And this is going to allow me to make some selections for skills, which is going to be good. So I don't know what to pick for skills. We're going to need everything, I think. So, and even fire making is really good because you've got, when you go into, I'll stick with the combat here. But when you go into fire making, there's a lot of bonuses for Abyssal XP just in general. So it's not one to skip. And it's kind of interesting seeing how this plays against the base game, because the base game, I would be doing things so much differently. And this, they've actually made a lot of these skills useful. Like I skipped fire making for a long time in there. I don't want to say it's actually useful. Fire making is useful, but it's far more useful here to get the XP bonuses than it was in regular. Let's see here. I definitely want to move township up because it's very restrictive. I definitely want to move smithing up. Summoning I haven't even started with, so we're going to do thieving on this one. farming, and we'll take mining. I'm sticking with the ones that I've already started with for the most part. I got hamstrung on the normal mode by not taking smithing. So I'll go ahead and take that. And I definitely want to move agility up. Man, you get a lot of choices on here. Cooking, I guess we'll go with that. So cool, we're through that. That means I can go in here and shop up. Let's see, we should be able to buy, oh, I don't have enough for the Tangle Grove. So we need to run that, make some Slayer coin. But I'm actually going to re-queue that and let that roll. So we'll be able to level up. Yep, we'll be able to level up everything. Did I get all my skills leveled up? Strength is, defense is not. So I can roll strength over. We'll just quickly let that do some damage, level that up so I get the benefit of the level while I work on attack. So yeah, that's not too bad. This video is not too long and I just did all of this. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to let this roll. I think I saw somewhere that I need to complete this area 10 times. So Depths of Woe cleared. So I can go into both of these areas now. On this side, I thought I saw that I needed to clear this thing so many times to unlock something else. Maybe not. I should have got a woeful chest. Did I not get a chest? Oh, I wasn't over here. I did get a chest. Okay. So what's in the chest? We could get something cool, or I could get garbage that I don't care about. Well, I mean, I do care, but not at the moment. So I think I'm going to run that dungeon for a while. You know, I wonder, we did not get food boxes. Maybe they don't care about this. We got food boxes for completing the dungeons on the original, but we don't get food, or outside of the Abyss, but we don't get food boxes here. Interesting. Okay, this is where it was. Depths of Decay, which is, oh, Depths of Woe. Depths of Decay needs to be cleared 10 times to get into this. I thought I saw something somewhere else that needed the Depths of Woe cleared a few times. I guess it's just one and done for these. And then Depths of Woe. Tangle Grove needs to be purchased. Pass. Yeah, I guess not. Maybe not. I thought oh, it was an item to purchase, wasn't it? I think it was an item to purchase. Maybe not. Maybe I'm blind. I thought there was something I had to complete so many times. It doesn't matter. So at any rate, oh, it was over on the end of the Abyss stuff, wasn't it? Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, here it is. Resilience to Decay. Yeah, complete Depths of Decay 10 times. And that's what we're doing, right? Is the... Oh, Depths of Decay. Okay. So everything, all the rest of this stuff starts from the next dungeon. So we got to do that one. All right, cool. Okay, cool. So I'll be able to finish getting dressed. I'll be able to put some pants and chest piece on. I think I'm going to what I'm going to do from now is go into my combat skills, get those, at least the melee stuff leveled up to 20. I'll get those done. And then I want to go into get smithing up to enough to where I can put a chest piece on. That'll get me forward with that. And then we'll go from there and see where we pick up next week. That's probably the focus early, is to get the combat skills leveled up to 20 so that I can keep progressing there. And then smithing and mining. So that's going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.